We're just about to leave Whitby, waiting for the bridge to swing. Dave, new crew on board.
Hello.
Bell is sounding to close the bridge. Had a nice time in Whitby actually. Very windy when we arrived, nice and calm today. We are heading for Hartlepool. About a 4.5 hour sail. Bit of cloud around, light winds, hopefully from a direction we'll be able to sail in though. Update you later. Going out through the entrance to Whitby Harbour, much calmer than when we came in. There's Whitby behind us. Trip boat out there, or maybe a fishing boat. We're sailing, no engine. Dave, who, let's be fair, would be a self-confessed novice sailor, is at the helm. We've pretty much been sailing since we came out of Whitby, for the first little while, just to get us offshore. It's a beautiful bit of coastline along here, I must admit. Still North Yorkshire before we get to the flatter land around Middlesbrough. Quite cold still, but the sun's shining. If it's out in the sun, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Anyway, we're certainly on our way, waiting for the tide to turn in our favour. My Topsham Sailing Club pennant, newly arrived. Having to fly it below the Royal Naval Sailing Association pennant, because it's nice to be in the senior position to allow me to fly a blue ensign. We're making progress, a bit slow. We may have to start the engine so that we get to Hartlepool. Behind Dave is Redcar with the steelworks. We got another wind farm there under the sails. Quite a small one compared with the ones down in the Thames. Going past it. And in front of us is Hartlepool. And the entrance to the River Tees and Middlesbrough. Certainly an industrial looking landscape. Hartlepool Marina. Big marina, very quiet, peaceful, friendly staff when you're coming in. Not a lot around in terms of commerce at the moment anyway. We're just off to see an old ancient ship, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. I'm here on board HMS Trincomalee, a just post-Napoleonic War ship, frigate, built in India in 1817, so just after Waterloo and Trafalgar were over. Great museum, a whole museum around it. It's the Royal Navy Maritime Museum of Hartlepool. Well worth a visit. Trincomalee was built in India out of teak, quite unusual at the time I guess, and a lot of teak, because in Britain we cut down all our oak trees for the ships that were used against Napoleon and the French. In remarkably good condition, probably about 50 years newer than Victory. Only one other of her class exists, and that's in Dundee, HMS Unicorn. But what a great visit, really put Hartlepool on the map for me. Yeah, much nicer place than perhaps people have made out. Nice marina, and yeah, good place. Hartlepool, come back one day perhaps. Just approaching the entrance to the River Tyne. Ferry has just emerged. There's a tug going in for us. We've just radioed Tyne BTS and got permission now to enter the river. I think the tug's going in front of us anyway. So we're off to Royal Quays Marina in the River Tyne, which is down near South Shields, for the night before moving on tomorrow to Amble. So we're coming towards the end of the industrial part of North East England now, although there's still quite a bit looking north here. You still see quite a lot of industrial development. Entrance to the Tyne. Famous river. They've steered all the way. I think he's a bit cold now. Need to get some hot soup in him in a minute. Yeah, excellent. We're leaving the Tyne on a absolutely wonderful day. First time I felt warm for days, I think, in outside without a coat on. Martin's at the helm now. We had a nice stay in Royal Quays Marina on North Shields. I thought actually we had an excellent tapas meal in North Shields as well. So yeah, gone up in my estimation. North Shields, South Shields looks okay. And we are now off to Amble, which is apparently a very pretty place at the kind of southern edge of the Northumberland National Park. This is the mouth of the Tyne. Great big breakwaters either side, wide channel. Not too busy here. There was a ferry departed as we were coming in last night, but on the whole, it's not an enormous amount of shipping. Royal Quays, as I say, was a nice marina, boat marina, same as Portishead and Weymouth and Portland and some others, but quite a bit cheaper up here. Very well compared with South Coast. I thought it was very reasonable for the standard of the facilities available. I think for the second day since I left Topsham, we have the wind behind us. We do have the spinnaker up, to be fair, but we're on a training run with full Genoa and main out. We're doing 4 knots through the water. Looking over there, you see a lighthouse. That's Blythe, which was the place I was originally going to go to last night, but we were advised to go into Royal Quays, and I think that was a very nice piece of advice. Wind got up to about force 5 on the way up, and eventually we took the main down and we're just sailing under the Genoa now. Much more comfortable, I have to say, because it was getting quite sporty with the main and the Genoa up. We've been seeing puffins, probably 5 or 6 now, fishing around us. How we get a picture of them is beyond me. Apparently there's one over here. I'm pointing the camera. Not anymore. It's gone. Behind you. It's gone. So I'm not sure how I proved that we've been sailing through puffins, but still, it's been lovely to see them. We decided to have a day off in Amble. As we were walking up the river towards the castle, we found Robson Green recording one of his weekends. We're having a day off. There were some force 6 winds forecast for today. I don't think they're going to materialise, but I'd already paid for the 2 nights in the Amble Marina, so we are now at Warkworth Castle. Grand ruin. We've just witnessed Robson Green on the River Amble filming one of his weekends with Robson. And it's a beautiful day, although it is quite windy, but we could have sailed. But anyway, it's nice to have a day off, because otherwise it's work. So I'm just now going to walk round with Dave and Martin, Whitby Castle. So this is a view from the castle down the River Coquette. The masts down there, the marina where Full Circle is sat at the moment. Coquette Island out there that we came in past yesterday. It's Sunday the 11th of May. We've just come into the end of our stay at Amble Marina, which has been a real pleasure to be here. We're off to Lindisfarne, planning to anchor off of Holy Island for the night, and break the journey halfway between here and Eyemouth in Scotland. So we'll soon be leaving England. But Amble Marina, very, very friendly marina, very peaceful in here. Lovely little town, great meal last night, gym, everything you want. So a bit of a sad to leave it really, but there we go. Onwards and upwards. Won't be long, it'll be onwards and downwards again. So we're leaving now, leaving Amble. Big sandbank there when you come in, so you want to make sure you're on the left hand side of the channel coming in. We didn't, we nearly went aground, but luckily a very kind fisherman hooted his horn at us and beckoned us in, so we were okay. So yeah, otherwise to Amble is keep right along the fish quay. Beautiful day again, lots of people out Sunday of course, so everyone's out at the seaside. Dave's looking like an old mariner there, look, with his yellow boots. As long as he doesn't fall overboard, we'll be fine. Just left Amble now, sails are up, sailing on a beam reach and a light wind, getting about 3 knots through the water, about the same over the ground at the moment. No real tide effects where we are, though no doubt later there will be. Passing the Northumberland coastline. Had an enormous problem getting the GoPro to work. I don't know. Very frustrating. But never mind, I've got an ordinary camera out ready to snap any puffins that appear, if we see any. I don't know whether you can see it, but ahead we have the Farne Islands, lighthouse on there, and over here we have Bamborough Castle. Over here is Sea Houses, which is the place you go if you want to go out and visit on the visitor boats. You want to go and visit the Farne Islands. So, it's all happening. Farne Islands all across the horizon here. We are 7 miles out from Holy Island. Now approaching Holy Island. Transit over there on Old Law, which will take us in. Winds dropped, seas flattened out since we passed the Farne Islands. Got a bit of tide in our favour. Very iconic bit of scenery. We've just had what with the Farne Islands, Bamborough Castle, and now Holy Island. And a lovely evening as well. Quite warm. We've got the Old Law Beacons transit bang in line at the moment, going into behind Holy Island. Coming down to Triton Green, starboard hand buoy, where we will turn onto a second transit into the anchorage. There's Holy Island. Just had pearl porpoises or dolphins swimming alongside. Five o'clock nearly. We're at anchor at Lindisfarne. We've just had meatballs and pasta made by yours truly, and interestingly Dave, who's with me at the moment, Terry, who was with me on the first part of the trip, and myself are all members of the Dursley Male Voice Choir. And Martin, who's with me at the moment, is a member of the Tyndale Choral Society. Anyway, we are going to try a sea shanty.
Oh, the times was hard and the wages low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And now once more ashore we'll go, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the work was hard and the voyage long. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. The sea was high and the gales were strong, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage was done and the wind don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the captain's bad, but the mate was worse. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. He would cut you down with a lash and a curse, and it's time for us to leave her. Oh, the cooks are drunk and the clerk is too. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And the crew is 40 men too few, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is done and the wind don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Or $1 a day is a ship's boy's pay.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
To pump all night and haul all day.
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh, it's pump or drown, the old man said.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
Or else by Christ we'll all be dead.
And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
Oh, the rats are gone and we the crew.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
It's damned high time we left her too,
And it's time for us to leave her.
Oh, wipe the deck and drop the sail.
Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
For a night with a maid and a gal and a veil.
And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, the voyage is done and the winds don't blow, and it's time for us to leave her.
So, we are sat at anchor, Lindisfarne, having our porridge with blueberries and banana, cup of tea, cooked by Dave. What a genuine good man he is. Yep, and look at this. Absolutely flat calm. Beautiful morning. Could hear the seals calling. They've stopped now. St Cuthbert's Isle there. But yeah, so we've got to go to Eyemouth. It'd be rather nice to stay here for a holiday actually, but the trouble with going around Great Britain is it's not a holiday because you've got to keep moving. So we're off to Eyemouth today, where Dave leaves us tomorrow, before Martin and I continue up the northeast coast of Scotland. Goodbye to Lindisfarne, looking very pretty in the sun shining on it. That's 8:30 in the morning. Hello Scotland very soon. Let's get the courtesy flag out. I'm afraid I didn't get any footage as we were coming up. It was quite misty, as everything was a little bit vague, but We are now in Eyemouth. Just came in, narrow entrance, but pretty little salty place. Perfect shelter in here on the visitor pontoon. Go and explore the town later. So this is kind of a bit of a end of a leg in that Dave leaves us here tomorrow and takes the train back home. He's got to go and back for a choir concert on Saturday and then a family holiday next week. And then Martin and I are by ourselves all the way up to Orkney. Although we're being joined by Stephen at Wick, just for the trip across the Pentland Firth. Anyway, more tomorrow. Although that I think I'm going to issue a video here, so the leg up to Eyemouth, and then I'll do another video for the Eyemouth to Wick, and then perhaps a separate one for crossing the Pentland Firth, something like that.
When we're sailing round the UK, we'll leave the shore, trip the anchor and haul away. Landlubbers we're no more, for our door is always open, and our hearth is always warm. When you need a place to shelter, we're a harbour in the storm. When we're sailing on the high seas, we've left the shore, we'll be whistling for a fair breeze. Landlubbers we're no more, for our door is always open, and our hearth is always warm. When you need a place to shelter, we're a harbour in the storm. When we turn to where the land ends, come walk ashore, we will soon be with our friends, wander no more. When our door is always open, and our hearth is always warm. When you need a place to shelter, we're a harbour in the storm. For our door is always open, and our hearth is always warm. If the old fox is still open, we will wander no